Today, we have something a little different as part of our off-road video series. This is a Rieju MR300 Racing Edition, which is a premium level 300cc two-stroke off-road bike out of Spain. First off, it's okay if you have no idea how to pronounce the name. We don't either. But our friends who are good with Spanish say Rieju, so we're going with that. The reason you probably haven't seen one before is because they haven't been brought to the US in any significant number in the past. The company has a long history of making small bore two-stroke street bikes for the European market. That changed when KTM acquired controlling interest in Gas 2 years ago. The existing Gas off-road line was then abandoned. Rieju acquired all that tooling and intellectual property. For now, the bikes formerly known as Gas are still being manufactured in Girona, Spain, alongside products that KTM is selling, most notably Gas Trials bikes. Rieju is building a brand new factory of its own to take on that task in the future. This bike is the mainstay of Rieju's new off-road competition line. It's based on the 2018 Gas EC300. That bike was newly redesigned but barely reached the market before supply issues surfaced. Rieju's current motor still resembles the original Gas 300 from way back in 1998. It was state-of-the-art at the time with a hydraulic clutch, case reed, and a mechanical power valve. It has evolved since then, but there's never been a blank slate redesign. Today's motor has a lithium battery and an external electric start that drives the flywheel. The chassis, on the other hand, has gone through some very big changes, the biggest of all coming in 2018. A certain amount of KTM influence is visible in this rendition. The bike has a steel central backbone, whereas versions going all the way back to the late 90s had perimeter frames. The EC300 also got KYB suspension in 2018, and now suspension has been further updated. The MR300 sells for $9,499. For comparison, a standard Husky TE300i is $12,299. Riding the Rieju gives you a feeling that you already know the bike pretty well. It has all the same strengths as the current 300 two-strokes from Austria and Italy. The weirdest thing about riding the Rieju is that there's nothing really that weird, at least if you're already a 300 two-stroke guy. If you aren't, you'll be astounded by how well the Rieju runs at low RPM. It allows you to slow down to idle speed, then just open the throttle and climb whatever it's pointed toward. The bike's mid-range power is excellent, and peak power is decent, although probably not class-leading. At the very top end of the power band, the Rieju signs off a little early. Overall handling is once again very familiar feeling to anyone with a 300 two-stroke background. The layout and controls feel conventional, but it has more of a long, stable feel than any of the Austrian 300s. As far as weight goes, it is a little overweight at 245 pounds without fuel. We would point out that this bike has linkage and a Kickstarter, whereas a KTM 300 XCW does not. The Rieju's linkage is very well tucked in and won't hang up on logs as easily as a Husky's. Overall, the suspension is soft, which is appropriate for a bike that's designed to tackle hardcore trails and extreme enduro. That's exactly the type of terrain where this bike excels. Inevitably, it will be compared to 300 two-strokes like the Beta, KTM, Husky, Sherco, TM, and the current Gas EC300. It's become a crowded market, and each of those bikes has a fanatical fan base. We're betting that the Rieju will soon have its own band of followers. For more off-road tests, check out some of our other videos, and then read about them on dirtbikemagazine.com. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.